Welcome! In this playthrough of Marvel Champions of Card game, we have Falcon teaming up with Winter Soldier to take on an expert absorbing man. So down at the table, if you've watched the channel much, you'll see that I have two colors here that I normally don't play, but I wanted to play leadership to give Falcon the chance to become Captain America, and I figured I'd try protection just to be something different here. So going through our deck construction, our first are heroes. Falcon, he's got 2 for all his stats. During the player phase, play with the top card of the encounter deck face up. He's eagle-eyed. As a response, after you play an aerial card, discard the top card of the encounter deck. Hand size of 5, health of 10. Alter ego side, we've got a recovery of 3. Birds of the feather. Action, discard a card from your hand, assert your deck and discard pile for a bird card and add it to your hand. Hand size of 6 on this side. And with leadership, I've got 2 power of leaderships. Then for allies, I have White Tiger, Glue, Squirrel Girl, Stinger, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Kid Omega, and Ms. Hill, and the Captain America title. Also, we've got Rapid Response, Leadership Skill, the Triskelion, 2 Inspiring Presence, and 3 Push-Aheads. And for the basics, we've got our 3 dual resources, a Quinn Carrier, Downtime, and Endurance. And then for Winter Soldier, he also has 2 for all of his stats. He's a lethal protector. As a response, after you attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Hand size of 5, 11 hit points. Alter ego side, recovery of 3. He is cybernetically enhanced. And as an action, spin a resource of any type. Search your deck and discard pile for cybernetic arm and put it into play. Hand size of 6 on this side. And for his cards, we have 2 power protection. For the allies, I've got Silk, Iceman, Starhawk, Clea, Brother Voodoo, Daredevil, and Victor. I also have the Night Nurse in here, along with 3 momentum shifts, 3 hard knocks, and 3 first hits. And for the basic cards, got the 3 dual resources, along with a helicarrier and endurance and downtime. And then for our villain, Absorbing Man, he'll be starting with a scheme of 2, attack of 2, gains a trait of each environment in play. When revealed, if super absorbing power is in play, we get an encounter card. Otherwise, search encounter deck, discard pile for super absorbing power and reveal it. And he's got 15 health per player. Super absorbing power is going to give him the ice, metal, stone, and wood traits and come in with 6. And his main scheme, that has us with Hydra Patrol, which I have here. I've also got his Absorbing Man card, Standard and Expert, and our obligations. For setup, we're going to discard cards from the encounter deck until an environment's discarded, put that card into play, and shuffle the encounter discard pile. Since I've had to re-record this since I accidentally deleted it the first time, that randomly discarded card was the Abandoned Facility. And then on the other side, it's got a threshold of 12 per player, so 24 on that. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place a delay counter here. And to force interrupt, when environment enters play, discard each other environment card in play. Alright, reshuffle our encounter deck. And see what our heroes get to start with. Starting with Sam, getting 6 cards. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, we've got Maria Hill, Red Wing, Stinger, Squirrel Girl, Bird's Eye View, and a Soup Kitchen. I mean, Bird's Eye View isn't bad for starting with that. Getting 4 allies right off the bat is a bit much. Would be nice to get some double resources. So we'll pitch 2 just to see. All right, we got that and another ally. And then for Bucky, also 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I got Victor, Self-Infiltration, Clea, Momentum Shift, Hard Knocks, and Endurance. Starting off with an additional 3 health is never bad. Plus it gives us something to pitch if a negative card would come up. I think we will discard those 4. Got our Mask, some more Infiltration, a Middle Punch, and Daredevil. Alright, we're going to skip discarding a card to go look for a bird card and just flip over. Let's just look at the top card. We know, and if, 3 is coming up. We are going to start bringing in Miss Heal, 4-2, attack of 1, 2 health. After she enters play, each player draws a card. So we find Captain America, nice. And over here, Strength. And just like that, Falcon is going to become Captain America. So play only if you are Bucky Barnes or the Sam Wilson player, and we are that player. So hero action, exhaust it, spend a physical resource, find the shield and add it to your hand. If it leaves play this way, deal 4 damage to an enemy. But we are going to go with our bird's eye view. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. You may discard the top card of the encounter deck to remove an additional threat from that scheme for each icon in that boost area, which is going to be 3. So we'll be removing 6 threat from a scheme, which will take care of the super absorbing power. That's because of those 3 symbols there. And we'll use our wild as a physical resource to find this from out of play. And when we do play it, we're going to get +1 defense and gain Retaliate 1. Then we'll go ahead and use Falcon to thwart for 2. Right there. And Miss Heal will remove the final 2. Alright, so over here, we're going to spend a resource of any type to search the deck for our arm. We found it. And that puts it into play. So as a resource, we can exhaust this to generate a wild resource for an attack event. That event deals 1 additional damage. Then flipping over. And we're going to use this turn to get him set up. Bringing in our Winter Mask gives us a spy trait. Hero response, after you attack and defeat an enemy, exhaust this to draw a card. Then we'll bring in Endurance, giving us +3 health. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll bring in Clea. Thwart of 1, attack of 1, health of 2. When she's defeated, shuffle her into the owner's deck. And she's going to strike for first blood, dealing 1 damage. And then Winter Soldier will hit for 2. And that's going to be our turn. So Falcon definitely keeping the shield. Getting an Inspiring Presence, up and away. Kid Omega and Ant-Man. And over here, Brother Voodoo, Hard Knocks, Genius, Black Widow, and an electrical discharge. So first we're going to get 2 threat for none shall pass and a delay counter. Then attacking over here, Miss Hill is going to defend. Of course, we'd know what was up there. So that's put this card in play. So now we've got the Rocky Outcrop, and that goes away. So after he makes an undefended attack, heal a damage from him. 2 if there's 5 or more delay counters. And she is gone. And then attack over here. Clea jumps in front of that. And that's going to be a total of 4 damage. And she gets shuffled back in. So counter cards. All right, Piercing Thorns. When revealed, discard a card at random from your hand. If he has the wood trait, he is currently stoned. Discard a card you control. So random from our hand. As random as I can get it at the moment. We lose up, up, and away. And over here, we've got Hydra regular, schema 1, attack of 2, 2 health, insight 1. So when he's revealed, we place a threat on the main scheme. And pass first player. All right, Soldier. It's going to attack for 2, defeats an enemy, which triggers after you attack and defeat an enemy. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. And draw a card. Get first hit. All right, we're going to bring in Brother Voodoo. Thwart a 2, attack of 1, 3 health. After he enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event card and add it to your hand, and then shuffle our deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for an event card. We've got arm block and momentum shift. That does us no good till we've taken damage, but arm block is nice. Then we shuffle our deck. Then we're going to spend 3 to bring in Black Widow. Thwart a 2, attack for 2, 3 health. After you play her from your hand, return an attack event from your discard pile to your hand. We'll put arm block back in her hand. Then attack for 2. And attack for 1. And that's him. So Falcon, we're going to give him cap shield. So he's got the +1 defense and retaliate. And then we're going to play Ant-Man. When he enters play, place a PIM counter on him to a max of 4 for each resource you overpaid for his cost. His cost is 0. We're going to spend 1. Which means he has 1 health. And then we will swing for 2. And end our turn. Winter Soldier, keeping the arm block, power protection, first hit, safe house, and hard knocks. And over here, energy, bird of prey, endurance, white tiger, and a bird's eye view. We get 2 threat and a delay counter. Goes to attack over here. Let's see. We heal him 1 damage if we don't have a defender. Well, actually, we're not going to defend. We're going to play arm block using our cybernetic arm to pay for it. So it's an attack event. Gives it +1 damage. So when an enemy attacks, we're going to be dealing 4 damage to it. And if you exhausted our arm to pay for this, prevent all damage from that enemy's attack. So he was swinging for a total of 3. We will take 0, but then, since we did not have a defender, he's going to heal 1 from that. And then on to Falcon. Ant-Man's going to jump in the way and move on over. Then encounter cards. The villain attacks you. We're just going to go ahead and take this one to the face. So just 2 damage, which heals him 1. And then over here, Hydra Soldier, scheme of 1, attack for 2, 4 health, and guard. When defeated, we get another encounter card. And pass first player. All right, go back, try to remember, big old 0 there. Winter Soldier is going to ask to take an action on his turn to play Hard Knocks for 3. So deal 4 damage to an enemy. If that enemy is defeated by this attack, give your hero a tough status card. So 4 is going to be enough to defeat. But it is going to, well, we know that's coming. He's going to be able to remove 2 threat from a scheme since he defeated a minion and draw a card into Clea. Then we are going to play White Tiger. Thwart or 2, attack for 2 and 2 health. After you play from your hand, draw X cards to a max of 3 where X is equal to the villain's stage number. Stage 2. The villain has no stage number. We draw 1, but we'll get to draw 2 cards. Got our Quinn Carrier and a Genius. We are currently an Avenger, so we're going to bring out the Quinn Carrier. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait. It's a resource. We can exhaust it to generate a wild resource. And we will go ahead and use that to bring out Endurance. And I'll just put that there. That's going to give us an additional 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And attack for 2. Attack for 2. Then over here, attack for 1. And attack for 2. And he gets to swing for 2. That's going to be our turn. We're just going to go ahead and keep those. So drawing 3, got a Metal Punch, Starhawk, and Energy. And over here we get 5, up and away, Rapid Response, Power of Leadership, Triskelion, and our Microweave. We get 2 threat. That goes up to 3. All right, goes to attack over here. White Tiger defends. And I'm not always flipping those cards over, but oh well. White Tiger is out. Then attacking over here, Brother Voodoo defends. Let's see, if there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme, there's only 3. And in counter cards, Villain Schemes, so it's going to be a base 2. Reveal this card, Ball and Chain. That gives him +1 attack and defense, or I'm sorry, scheme and attack. So hero action, spend a physical resource to shuffle this into the encounter deck. Put my reminder up there. And then Hydra Regular, seen him, Insight 1. And Shadow of the Past. So we played Crossbones last time. Now he's coming in a different way. So scheme of 2, attack of 2, 5 health. He's got quick strike. After he attacks and defeats an ally, place 2 threat on the main scheme. So he's swinging for 2. And when he initiates the attack, we are going to respond using that as a resource to pay for this. So it gets +1 damage. When a minion initiates an attack, deal 3 damage to that minion. And we take 2. And we also get a Hydra hit squad. Each Hydra minion gets +1 attack and +2 hit points. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and reveals it. That's going to get 6 threat on it. Then we've got 3 cards to shuffle in. Okay, and then we will pass first player. The Winter Soldier is going to start by punching this guy for 2, which will take him out, which allows us to remove 2 threat from the scheme and draw a card into our rifle. Then we're going to bring a rifle into play. So when Winter Soldier makes a basic attack, exhausts the rifle, it gets +2 attack for this attack. The attack gains piercing and ranged. And that's all I'm doing with him. And we're going to use Falcon to beat up this guy. Then going to use our Quinn Carrier to help bring in our microwave. So it gives us +1 defense. When I would take any amount of damage, exhaust the microwave, prevent 1 of that damage, and deal damage to an enemy. Then I'll bring in Rapid Response. After an ally you control is defeated, discard this, put that ally into play from your discard pile, and deal 1 damage to it. So that was a slow turn. Once again, I'm keeping 2 cards over here. First hit, Downtime, and Winter Armor. And the Triskelion, allies aren't lasting that long. So we've got our Talon Line, Kahlua, Aerial Recon, Leadership Skill, and Push Ahead. And we add 2 threat, so up to 6. This goes to 4. Absorbing Man attacks. Black Widow defends and goes away. And I think we're going to defend. We've got a defense of 4. And he swings for 3. Okay, and counter cards. Oh, he was swinging for 4, my bad. We're still fine. Stall tactics. Place a threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters on the main scheme. That means we're getting 2 more threat. And surge. So now, after he makes an undefended attack, take an indirect damage. In the dense forest, and that surged into a swinging stone. We're in hero form. He attacks you. If he has the stone trait, he gets +1 attack for this activation. He currently has the wood trait. Ooh, kind of wish I wouldn't have defended earlier. So he's going to be attacking for 1, 2, 3, a base 4. He'll be fine, right? Just 5. We are going to prevent 1 and redirect it. But it was undefended, so we take an indirect damage, so we're still taking 5. And pass first player. Okay, let's see what we have down here. Got a guard minion. All right, we're going to bring in our Talon line. After you resolve Falcon's Eagle-Eyed ability, discard Talon line. For each icon on the discarded card's boost area, choose one. Ready a character you control or stun an enemy. Then we're going to use our Quinn Carrier to create a physical resource to exhaust Captain America, to return find our shield and take it to our hand. If it leaves play this way, deal 4 damage to an enemy. Then we're going to play our shield back out. And I think we'll flip over. Then we're going to bring Clea back into play. And play downtime, so we can play that under any player's control. We will play that over here. And then we will thwart for 2 on the main. And she'll thwart for 1. You know what? I just have a hard time doing that. He's not thwarting. He's attacking using his rifle. So he attacks for 4. And we'll end her turn. All right, we'll keep recon. Push ahead, inspiring presence, downtime, bird of prey, and another push ahead. And over here, arm block, helicarrier, momentum shift, metal punch, and silk. We'll get 2 threat. We're up to 5 over there. So basically all these things get a little bit better. Then he's going to scheme for base 3, 4. Then attack over here. Clea is going to defend. And she gets shuffled back in. Then in counter cards, Hydra Soldier and a Swinging Stone. Absorbing Man's going to attack us. And he's got the wood trait. So it's just his base attack, which is still 3. If we don't defend, we'll take 2 indirect damage, so we will defend. You know what? Yeah, we'll just do a regular defense. Or will we? We are going to defend. We're going to use our arm to deal 4 damage to him, and we'll prevent all damage from his attack. But the 2 indirect, I think, is still going to happen. So we'll take the 2 indirect. We did 4 damage, which is going to move him up. He gains a trait of each environment in play. After he activates you, he has the wood trait. We're going to take another indirect damage and 32 health. So 20, 30, and 2. And we take another indirect damage. But we prevented, well, oh, now he has the ice trait. What's ice do? Place a threat on the main scheme. That probably messed some of that up. Oh well. So that's after he activates against you. So that would have changed before. So yeah, I think we're back. So instead of the extra indirect damage, he would have placed a threat. So we're up to 14 out of 24. And we pass first player. All right, we're going to go with playing an ally, bringing in Silk, 4-1, attack 1, 2 health. After you play her from your hand, if you control another web warrior, we don't. But if we did, we could search in counter deck for treachery and discard it. And thwarting for 1. We're going to use our action to search our deck and discard pile for a bird card and add it to our hand. So we're going to discard our downtime to go find Red Wing. Then we are going to recover for 3 plus our downtime. So 5 takes us to 13, which is our max now. And flip over. Now we get to see what we have there. Okay, we are going to bring in Red Wing, an aerial card, thwart 1, attack 1, 2 health. We can exhaust him, return him to our hand, discard the top card in the counter deck, choose to either deal X damage to an enemy or remove X threat from a scheme, which is going to be equal to the number of icons. But we are going to do Bird of Prey, deal 4 damage to an enemy, to an enemy. You may discard the top card of the encounter deck to do an additional damage to that enemy for each icon discarded this way, which we will do. So we're dealing 7 damage to an enemy. So we're going to defeat the Hydra Soldier. But we do get an encounter card. Wait, let me see here. Yeah. So get the encounter card for doing that. Then, after you resolve oh, I played that wrong. No. The Bird of Prey, we just did the 4 damage to do that. Basically, after I played the aerial card, I wanted to trigger this. After you play an aerial card, discard the top card of the encounter deck, which would have been this. So 4 was still enough to do that with the Bird of Prey. So after I play Red Wing, I want to use Eagle-Eyed with my Talon line. And that's got 3 symbols on it. So I can ready a character I control, stun an enemy. Basically, I'm just going to ready and stun. And that gets discarded. Could have used him and readied him again, but he's only got 2 health, so I'm just going to use him once. So thwarting for 1, thwarting for 2. Okay, that's going to end her turn. We're going to keep momentum shift. We've got Night Nurse, Power Protection, Clea, and Electrical Discharge. And over here, draw their fire, Falcon's Flock, Strength, Battlefield Awareness, and Evacuation. So we get 2 threat. It goes to 6. Goes to attack, loses stunned. Goes to attack over here. Silk is going to defend. And encounter cards. All right, we have the ice trait, exhaust your identity. That's not fun. And over here, got an avalanche. When revealed, each player must choose to either spend an energy resource or take 3 indirect damage, since we have 5 or more delay counters. So 2 damage or an energy resource. All right, Falcon is going to go, ooh, that's right, and went through his deck. Got him another encounter card. Okay, back to resolving that. He's going to discard a card. And he's going to take 2, 3 indirect damage. All right, next up, high-tech armament. After you attach this to an enemy, that enemy activates against you. Hero action, exhaust a character you control to discard this card. Well, the only person we can put that on is the villain. Which means he's going to attack. Red Wing is going to defend. Red Wing is going to go away. And once he's in our discard pile, we're going to discard this card to put him back into play with 1 damage on him. Alright, next. The villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. Alright, glad we brought him right back in. Because now he's attacking. Wing will defend again. And this time goes away a little bit longer. And we will pass first player. So he is +2. Okay, over here, going to bring in our flock. Gets 5 bird counters. So resource, remove a bird counter from it to generate a energy resource for an aerial card once per card. And we're going to go ahead and use it to help bring in an aerial card, Battlefield Awareness. When Falcon uses a basic power, exhaust this and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Falcon gets +1 to that power for each icon on that. And we can see what's on there. So that's got 3 icons on it. And what's his health at? Still 32. Well, we're going to have him thwart for 2. And use that to make it a thwart for 5. Dunk that down a little bit. And we'll go over here, bring in Clea. We're just going to exhaust her to discard that. Then we're going to use that wild, making it an energy for an attack event. So we're going to deal 5 damage to an enemy, the 4 plus the 1. Then if we paid for this event using an energy, we made that wild an energy, we get to stun that enemy. So 5 damage. And stunned. And that's going to be our turn. I feel like we've gone on the defensive here and not progressing. We will keep the Night Nurse. Iceman, momentum shift. And, well, because of that, we would have seen it. Ooh, it's an obligation. So we shuffle and get 2 more. Hard Knocks and Power Protection. Over here we get 5. Bird of Prey, Power of Leadership. Let's heal, Downtime, and Talon Line. Then we're going to get 3, so we go up to 10. Goes to attack, lose stun. Goes to attack, we'll use Clea to defend. If Absorbing Man has the stone or wood trait, he doesn't, he has ice. Then we'll place a threat on the main scheme. I don't know if I've been doing that for a while. We'll just say there's an extra 2 threat on there. I don't think I did that last round. He did have an extra activation or 2. Heck, it's probably up to 15 by now. Don't forget that either. All right, counter cards. 1 there, 1 there. Acceleration. And more shuffling. Okay. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck and surge. Take 3 indirect damage, 4 indirect damage if he has the metal trait. He doesn't, so 3 indirect damage. And that went into, he's going to attack us, and he doesn't have stone. He's attacking for a base 4. We're placing threat on the main scheme if we don't defend. So I will defend. So he's a base 4. If there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme, take 1 indirect damage. Let's see, we'll take an amount, any amount of damage, doesn't state what it's from. So we're going to choose not to take it and redirect it. And we had the 4 defense to deal with that. And he has the eye straight, so we're adding a threat because he activated. All right, I think we're good there. Give to Sam. So it gets 3 emergency counters. As an alter ego action, spend a resource of any type to remove an emergency counter from here. And then surge and exhaust your identity. It's hard to do anything when you're always exhausted. We found a guard. And we'll pass first player. All right, we're going to bring in Iceman. Thwart 1, attack for 2 and 3 health. Enters play with 3 freeze counters. After minion enters play, remove a freeze counter from him to stun that minion. Then we're going to use that to help pay for an attack event to heal 2 damage from our hero and deal 3 damage to an enemy. We're going to choose this guy. That's going to allow us to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And draw a card. And I feel like I have to go on the attack. So we're going to put 2 damage on Absorbing Man. And that's all I've got over here. Over here, we're going to bring in Miss Hill. So after she enters play, each player draws a card. Up, up, and away. Oops, just up, up, and away. Over here is a momentum shift. Let's see what's on top. All right, I'm going to use that and that to create 2 oh no, I'm not. I'm going to use that and that to pay for a Talon line. To bring, we've used that before. She's definitely better at thwarting, so we'll remove 2 from there. Now I'll use this to help create a resource for an aerial card for Bird of Prey. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. We are going to discard the top card, so it's going to be dealing 6 damage to an enemy. So it's down to 18. go ahead and use that. Well, we played the aerial card that did that. So we're going to respond to doing that to discard this one to stun an enemy. And that's going to be your turn. Let's see. We're going to keep both of those. Silent Infiltration, a Helicarrier, and our armor. And over here, Kid Omega, Triskelion, Push Ahead, Bird's Eye View, and Inspiring Presence. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're up to 16. And that goes to 7. Then he goes to attack and loses stunned. Then he goes to attack. Miss Hill's going to defend. And she goes away. And after the attack, he's still ice. So we get a threat. And then we get an encounter card, and one more for good measure. All right, we've got a Hydra Soldier with guard. Discard a card at random from your hand. He does not have wood. So a random card is Silent Infiltration. And here, discard an upgrade or support you control. That's going to be Downtime, which was his. And we pass first player. Okay, can we do 18 damage this turn? I don't know. Guess I need to count it up, because we do have the ability to do some heavy thwarting if needed. So hypothetically, I can get him to attack twice. So that's going to be 4. Start of the turn, I get to see what's down there. So he can attack for 4. So that's 8. Can use the shield for 4 more. So I need to do 6 more, which can be done. All right. So we're going to bring in Kid Omega. Thwart of 2, attack of 2, 2 health. After he enters play, we can choose to do any of those, but we're going to choose not to do any of those. He attacks for 2. Then, just because of us being there, we're going to have some Inspiring Presence. We have the Avenger trait. Heal a damage from an ally and ready it. And he will attack for 2. Falcon is going to do his basic attack of 2 and use this to discard that card for another 2. So that's going to be 4. Then we're going to use that for a physical resource. An Exhauster Captain America title. That goes to her hand, dealing 4 damage. Down to 6. Ooh, forgot about that guy. See if that ruins my whole plan. Attacking for 2 plus 2. Piercing and ranged. So we're attacking for 4, which defeats. Allows us to remove 2 threat from a scheme. and draw a card. Then use that to help pay for an attack event, so we can deal 5 damage to an enemy. So it's down to 1. And then we're going to let Iceman attack to take down Absorbing Man. So that went rougher than I thought it would take, but I think I was able to pull it out. Hopefully the threat didn't get messed up too much there with his extra ability. I think I added enough to counteract that. But we got Falcon to be turned into Captain America and throw the shield around for a bit. And Winter Soldier played around a little bit with the protection aspect. So as always, hope you enjoyed this video. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.